All right, today I'm in Papago Park at the Arizona Heritage Center. Here's the admission fee, and general admission is $12, and youth between 7 and 13 years of age is $6. When you first come in, look straight ahead. These are hand-cut stones from the Roosevelt Dam that was finished in 1911. This is called the Roosevelt Terrace. Absolutely beautiful. Check out this awesome mural. All in stone right here. Absolutely beautiful. Built between 1903 and 1905, the Apache Trail was laid. And this is one of the wagons that was used in building and constructing the Apache Trail. Pretty sweet. Alright, what I'm about to show you next is a millstone from the cement plant at the Theodore Roosevelt Dam site. It was used to crush lime for the production of cement, mortar, and concrete. And here it is, folks, right here. That's an original one right there. Pretty sweet. So this whole display area right here is dedicated to the building of the Roosevelt Dam that finished in 1911, and President Theodore Roosevelt was there to open it up. You have an actual picture back here of when they were building the dam in the early 1900s. So this section within the museum in here is about unidentified flying objects over Phoenix. Separate events took place in Arizona and across the Phoenix Valley during the evening hours of March 13, 1997. While the Air Force claims that the lights were aerial flares used in a training exercise, an estimated 10,000 Arizona residents reported visual or close encounters with an unidentified flying object. Alright, what actually happened on that day? They have a timeline right here, 8:15. Former police officer reports a cluster of reddish-orange lights in the night sky and watched the formation with binoculars. Okay, at 8:20 in Prescott Valley caller reports the object is definitely solid, that it blocked out much of the starry sky as it travels silently overhead. Let's roll over here. Sunset Point at 8:30 p.m. A large group of motorists traveling on the I-17 stop at the rest area to see and watch the object as it passed, moving southward. Phoenix. First sighting by a family of 4 reporting that they watched it come down from the Prescott area until it passed directly overhead at a low altitude and continued on. Whew. A lot of stuff going on here at 9 p.m. and around Casa Grande. Air Force says lights were flares. We'll never know. What is this thing? Where do you download the app? Where's the screen? How do you take a picture? This AT-6 bears the markings of a Falcon Field trainer used before America's entry into the war. The BP on the side refers to British program, as Falcon Field trained cadets from the United Kingdom. Yeah, the United Kingdom, that's right. If you haven't been out to Falcon Field, check out my video above on Falcon Field. There's a lot of history out there. Yeah, honey, can I get a nice big glass of milk? Thank you so much.
The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii.
Honey, you gotta come here. Listen to this.
Came to you from the NBC newsroom in New York. President Roosevelt phoned Secretary Early half an hour ago that the Japanese had attacked Pearl Harbor.
Okay, yes, I am at the Arizona Heritage Museum in Papago Park, but check out my video, and I'll post it up here. I'll try to find it up here or maybe down in the comments later, about the Chandler Museum, the Chandler History Museum in Chandler, Arizona. They have a whole display on the Japanese relocation centers. They have a nice display in here, but the one in Chandler is enormous. You need to check that out. But let's go ahead and check out what they have to say in this museum about the Japanese relocation center. Of Japanese ancestry in February of 1942 and living north of this line, remain at home, do not cross this line. And this is right here, the Arizona Divide. And this is whether you were going to go to a Japanese internment camp or whether you're going to be able to stay at home. It's a huge piece of Arizona history.
Said about that joke, we had to make your own mattress, and they pointed to a stack of hay that you fill it up with that.
World War II left a defining mark on Arizona. The state emerged from the war with an increase in population, industry, and agriculture that otherwise would have taken decades to achieve. Arizona changed from a sparsely populated area into a vast training ground for the U.S. Armed Forces. From 1941 to 1945, people and money poured into the state to build military bases, relocation centers, defense plants, bombing and gunnery ranges, and airfields. General Patton's troops moved across the desert, air cadets took to the skies, soldiers passed through in trains, and civilians worked in expanded manufacturing sites. A movement took hold and in turn transformed a once isolated state. So this hatch from the USS Arizona comes from the ship's smokestack. This is an original piece that they salvaged. That's an unbelievable piece of history right here. This is a cool picture. It's a picture of the USS Arizona being launched into the water for the first time in 1915. I've never seen a picture like this before. Let's check it out. The gun and limber weighed over 4,200 pounds. They had a horse and buggy pull this bad boy. Check it out. Check out this artillery right here. That gun needed 6 horses, not 2 horses. Maybe they just couldn't put enough in here. That gun I just showed you needed 6 horses to pull it. It weighed 4,200 pounds. By 1912, only 3 of the 11 major forts in Arizona remained active. One was Calvary at Fort Apache, the other one was Fort McDowell, and the other one was Fort Verde. I've been down to Fort Verde. You need to go check out that historic area. They still have 4 buildings that remain from Fort Verde back in the late 1880s. This picture here, they show of Fort Verde back in 1885. Those houses back there for the enlisted, for the officers, for the medical staff, 4 of those buildings still exist back there. It's a great picture. It's a great picture of what it looks like today. And if you look up in here, when you get out there, if you look up into the mountains, you're going to see some awesome cliff dwellings in the Verde Valley up here. It's awesome. Go check out Fort Verde. Arizona's cotton industry exploded during the First World War. Long stapled, high-grade cotton developed on the Pima Indian reservations were used extensively for such war products as fabric for covering airplane vehicle tires, gas masks, filters, and uniforms. In 1918, the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company purchased land near Chandler, Arizona to grow cotton for the company's factories. Overall, between 1910 and 1920, Arizona cotton production increased by 400%. Checked out my video on the lost history of Arizona. I'm going to put it right up here. It's about Litchfield Park. It's about why the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company first came here to Arizona in 1916 and started growing their long staple cotton in 1917. That whole thing I just told you of why there was such a boom during World War II is in that video. Check it out. I hate to take the mic for just a minute, but if you haven't checked out the Arizona Timeless Tours YouTube channel, make sure you check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks for your time, guys. Okay, I was just about to leave, but I've come across a fence with a canal that's running on the other side. Some of these stones are put out towards this direction. It looks like a path, but it's locked. Let me in. I got a feeling this is part of the ancient canal system of the Hohokam back here. Now I got to run back inside and ask if I can get in here, or what am I actually looking at here?